Hey guys, this is Quasi. Today's interview is with Adit, one of our star clients, and I'm just watching the review of this interview and it's kind of insane. So Adit, he already started getting amazing results just out of watching our free videos on the channel. He runs an AI marketing business, and as soon as he joined, within the first week of going through the program, he closed around $250,000 in new sales and new annual recurring revenue for his business. So I'll just let you watch the whole interview because it doesn't get crazier than this. So he shares his takeaways, getting deeper into the who, what, and why, and the key that made the shift for him. So let's jump right in.
You've been watching Quasi's free content for a long time. That helped
No,
me.
no.
So now let's
I
jump
watched it for
into
like a week and a half, two
oh
weeks.
for a
Yeah,
week.
yeah.
Okay.
For one, two
So
weeks.
you were watching him for a week, then you saw the offer for the reality mastery program. You decided to jump in. What made you actually go from the free content to actually wanting to enroll in the paid program?
After doing the free stuff, we had converted some trials to paid. And I was like,
Yeah.
and then I started just feeling more on it. And I felt like a weight had been lifted off my shoulders.
Yeah.
And then I was speaking with Matt, and it's so funny. He's got a mad poker face, yeah. So I'm answering these questions, and I'm not gauging nothing from him. And usually I'm a good reader, but he's got
Yeah.
a mad poker face, yeah. So I can't tell nothing. And but at that point, where I'd gone through the preparation work for the course, and I was like, I took it like the mindset of like, what have I got to lose, bro? Just go 0 to 100 on this shit and see if it
Yeah.
works. Turns out it started working. I was like, well, if stuff is working on the free stuff, imagine how mad it will be on the paid stuff. I was like, yo, if I'm making some dough here with this free stuff, I'm gonna make fucking millions with this paid stuff. But most importantly, I'll find like my purpose and who I am and what makes me tick and da 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 da. And yeah, through the beginnings of this course, I've just finished week one.
Yeah.
But man, we must have closed over $250,000 in like a week and a half in ARR.
And that's just now.
In like 10 days,
Wow.
maybe like 280 grand across the year in it. So
Yeah.
ARR, annual recurring revenue. So I was like, fuck, you know. And it's weird because like I'm in the best shape of my life now, yeah. I meditate every morning without fail. I try and exercise every single day because it's true. Like the small things you can do that keep you consistent, then lead for bigger things to become consistent. And so
Yeah.
I started vision. That was the trick. I started visualizing. I was watching 3 videos like havings right at the end. If you can figure out your who, what, and why, it will naturally come.
Yeah.
I applied the same shit in sales, and now our campaigns are doing like for our customers are doing incredibly well because
Yeah.
no one likes being sold to. Because again, everyone has this me, and sales is about adding value, give, and then when you're ready to bounce and vibe, like we signed up $1 billion business. He just messaged me randomly on LinkedIn. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, this can't be happening. And then I was like, no, it can be happening because this is what I've visualized and wanted, and I'm not working hard for it. It feels effortless, but it's because my mind, heart, and body and soul, they're all feels connected for the first time in years.
Yeah.
And I feel like because I got bullied from primary school, that boy was just, I had to shut him off in a cave. Now I know my core purpose is to let this boy come out and live life. He ain't lived life for like
Yeah.
25 years. Do you know what I mean? And so that's where I feel like getting the energy is reaping the rewards, but it doesn't just stop here. Like if I can close like that, like more than $250,000 in like 10 days, bro.
I remember you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember you
Yeah,
you
so
made a post and you were like, I was watching a video and in the middle of the video they called me and I closed a 7,000
yeah.
pound deal.
And you know how long that piece of work's going to take us? Half a day?
Wow.
It's the easiest 7K
Yeah.
we ever make. And then now I spoke with another company to do a similar thing, which is outside of the main business, isn't it? So it's just, yeah, it's kind of weird. Like opportunities are just coming and coming and coming. And
Exactly.
yeah, just, like now I'm doing that. It's like, okay, visualize. I'm a 25K a month entrepreneur. All right, what the fuck does a 25K entrepreneur do and act and operate? And now we're
Hmm.
there. Okay, what does a 50K a month entrepreneur do? All right, what does 100K? What does a million? What does 10 million do? Do you know? Because
Yeah.
I can take this business to like 100 million plus in revenue without a doubt. And yeah, I'm putting in the right work. Like even like mentors I'm getting now and stuff. I'm like, raw, like I'm speaking to you. I'm like, whoa,
Yeah.
grateful, man.
We're
Like,
having this interview right now because you went from 0 to 100 and you figured things out, which, and I was
yeah,
telling him before we even started the recording was that This is the first interview that I've done where it's so quick. The results came so quickly,
Goodness.
and that's insane. Yeah.
It changed my life. Quasi changed my life because I would read all this other like stuff and they'd use all this complicated terms. And for me, like explaining stuff super simply means that you understand it. But most of these gurus use
Yeah.
overcomplicated language. Actually, I realized through like thinking of core principles, if you can't explain something simply, you probably need to do some work on yourself, bruv, because you're just trying to give
Yeah.
off this image that you're super smart and using all these like big ass words and da 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 da.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think naturally now it's like I see no's. Before it was like a customer would say no, and I'd be like, "Why me? What did I?
Yeah.
I'm shit. I'm this. Fuck's sake!" And it just spiral right now. It's like it's okay. And my point of calls and sales calls now, as long as I leave you, as long as I felt like I gave you value and you achieve value on the call, then great. If
Yeah.
you don't want to do this, that's totally fine. We'll connect when it's meant to be in it. And if it's not meant to be, it's not meant to be. Like for me, like I'm not
Yeah.
ready to take on like big enterprise meaty clients. I'm not there yet.
Yeah.
It's okay. And gradually get there, like I feel like I want this to be consistent now. So
Yeah.
I always end up doing good and then I end up crashing back. So I make
Yeah.
something and then I end up losing it. And then it just I was just tired of that flip-flop life.
Yeah.
So I
I
was
feel
like,
like that happens so much with entrepreneurs where, we go out and do our own businesses and then things go up and down. That's what kind of makes everything
but you know
go out
what's
of
funny?
order.
I was speaking with this founder community. I think I might have a meaty little contract for Quasi, but I can talk to you about that afterwards because
Yeah.
because I think the big problems founders has every founder, especially ones who like build tech businesses, it's like they always seek the next strategy, the next tactic.
Yeah.
In like sales, it's like, oh, the next outreach tactic, oh, be more personal, be this. Actually, like I didn't need to change nothing. I just needed to understand myself and
Yeah.
like really connect with my like shadow self and the 2.0 version that I wanted to become. And like I said, in 3 weeks, had a belly, no more. I think I'm in naughty shape anyways.
Yeah.
And yeah, this like confidence coming from within. I don't feel like I have to wear a persona anymore. And so
Yeah.
I feel like I'm just gravitating towards it. Sounds like airy fairy, but I initially thought that like before I'd heard Quasi stuff in it, but
Yeah.
yeah, his teachings changed my life, man. I can't even lie.
Yeah.
I adopted that guy. And also he changed my life without me even having met him. Do you know what I mean? I still have spoken to him like sometimes on the Q&A stuff. I never had a conversation with him, and it's for me like for someone to have an impact on your life that deeply, like
Yeah.
bro, I probably without him, if I hadn't come and met to seen the video at the right time, my business probably would have failed. I would have
Yeah.
run out of cash, and I'd be back to square one, innit? I'd probably be smoking weed every day still. I'd probably drink, but since that, I haven't drank a sip of alcohol. I quit alcohol, quit weed, quit all the vices. I think the main thing is I came into it from the free material with
Yeah.
just open arms, but I felt like I had to reach that like low point, and also my missus giving me a couple of words to be like,
Yeah.
I'm 31, I'm not like 19 anymore. I need to get my shit.
Yeah. How is your mindset different now? What is one thing that maybe clicked for you that now you use to view life differently at this point?
That's so fascinating. That's such a good question. How's life different now the way that I think? I'd say like before the free stuff, man, I'm not gonna lie. I got to a point where I even started dreading Mondays. I was like,
Yeah.
can't be asked. And then I would have a Zoom in the morning and then it'll get rid of that worry, right? Or really just put on a mask and then I'd get
Yeah.
that was one. I want to finish early and I couldn't be asked. Now my mindset is like, we've got 24 hours in a day. Let's wake up. And listen, I'd been like cold showering. I've been cold showering for like 2 years and I've been sauning 4 times a week and and I would listen to Andrew Huberman podcasts and all of this stuff. Like intellectually, I was always there.
Yeah.
Emotionally, I was like far behind. And like since the mindset change, I have the best relationship with my parents. I have the best relationship with my wife. I have deeper connections with friends who are at the same vibration levels and ones that aren't.
Yeah.
I haven't seen them since. Do you know what I mean? I don't party no more. I don't drink no more.
Yeah.
And I feel like I know my sense of purpose and why I was here, and it's to show like you can come from anywhere, and as long as your mind, heart, and body is aligned, you can build $100 million business. It's just how bad do you want it? But ultimately, I feel like most people need to go through bullshit and reach that ground, what they feel is their ground zero to want to incorporate a change. Otherwise, I don't think it's possible in a weird way. It's not to like take away from people that have had stable upbringings and stuff, but I've just been battered so many times that it gets to points like with the beginning of me my first business, or like with my wife, just like fuck this. And so like, every morning I wake up, I down a cup of water with lemon, and then I'll brush my teeth, I'll take a shit, I'll go downstairs, I'll put Celtic salt in my mouth because the minerals
Yeah.
and get hydrated. Then I do a 12-minute guided meditation in the
Yeah.
morning. The night before, though, I'll plan out my day. I'll see my calendar. I'll smash through work from like 8:30 to like 12:30. I'll hit gym for about hour 20 minutes because I'll do heavyweight session, and then if I got time, I'll go sauna. And
And this
then
is all happening. You're doing this right now. Is like just when
yeah,
you started.
right now I'm mad regimented. I kind of have to be. And then late afternoon work calls. Then I've got US and Canada clients. So then that goes into the night till like 12:1, and then repeat. And luckily, my parents, bless them, like managed to, when I left the first business, got a decent payout, managed to buy my mum's salon with her. So they're chilling. And so, yeah, life is very different from nearly like losing our house through bankruptcy and fraud and that shit. But I feel like if I can get through all them from like being bullied to like our family getting frauded at hundreds of thousands of pounds and nearly getting bankrupt, and I can get through that, like, and I feel like now I'm this like new person. And so as I jumped into this new identity with full force, like I didn't get cravings. I saw a drink and I was like, nah, I don't want to drink. It's funny. It was also some things like clicked in it. Like I went to the pub with my dad. My dad also never asked me to do anything. And he asked me to go watch football. I was like, huh? This is weird. And I went drinking. I was looking around me. I was like, raw, like all of you man are pissed and I'm not. And I'm like, I was seeing a guy with his missus and I was like, raw, okay, so this is how I used to act, you know? Fuck me, an embarrassment. And now I have like, I'm not high all the time. I have a deeper relationship with my wife, and thankfully she's forgiven me on a lot of stuff. But yeah, we have the greatest relationship now ever. And yeah, my
that's
life
awesome.
is just all aligned, isn't it? So
I feel like everything aligned in the perfect moment. Like the mirror comes into play so much here because it's such a proof here that identity shifts don't have to take forever, right? It's when you understand clarity and purpose, which I feel like is something huge that you came into. Like all these things were going on. You knew that these things were in front of you, but you didn't know exactly what the purpose behind that was. And now that that's clear, as you said, and I think this is something that a lot of people overcomplicate, where they're like, okay, I have to change this ingrained identity. I have to do all of these things, which yes, you have to first become aware of them, but it doesn't mean that has to take forever, right?
yeah, and it's
And
not
with
like,
you just quickly did it. So
but don't get it twisted. There were like tests in it. So like I remember one
yes,
Saturday as I started, I was bored, and then my mind just started spiraling out of control. It's like, fuck, what am I doing in my life? And then I kind of just spoke in the third person. I think he talks about it in the first week, but I kind of took myself in the third person. I was like, nah, Adit, chill. Like, you're good.
yeah,
Felt like that was almost me speaking to my inner child in a weird way. Like, don't panic. I got you. And then that went away. And then I think something must have triggered some emotion the following week. But I managed to go from what would usually last for hours and me just being a negative, quite vile person, like that emotion just went after like 15 minutes. I was like, right, okay. So the first time it was like an hour. Now it's like 15 minutes. I cool. The next time might be 30 minutes or 40 minutes or maybe a bit longer, but a bit shorter. But that's okay. Like life throws you tests in it. Like, do I really want identity or do I not? And it was funny because even the other day, like I was a bit tired. I was like, nah, Adit. Consistency is a game. You are consistent. Go to the gym. It don't matter if you got to lift slightly less heavier weights. Just get in that fucking gym and be consistent. And so for me, it's like I genuinely do see it in it. I think I'm gonna make 9 figures in dough across the next 10 years.
Yeah.
I believe it and I feel it and like I visualize it. And then it's funny because you visualize a goal, you start to understand the pathway to get there. You visualize the pathway, the goal becomes clearer. You visualize more of the goal, and it just starts funneling in.
Yeah.
And yeah, now I'm at a place where I feel like not that I should have been, because I feel like life has a funny way of testing things on you. And I just didn't pass my test in it. But now I feel like I'm actually past my test. I don't feel like a fraud. I feel like, nah, I should be here. You know what? I'm fucking smart. I do know how to do shit. And I'm great because I do believe it. But now it's just like I'm getting data to back it up, which is boosting that like vibe even more. So now even more people want to work for me. And when I get on a call now, everyone's leaving super smiling. Everyone's like, oh my God, Adit, thank you so much. You're this, you're that. I'm like, rah. Even the other day, I was at the gym. Someone's like, you look good, you know? It's just
Yeah,
all
it all starts changing. When your inner
yeah,
monologue changes, your outer external reality
100%.
immediately just
100%.
flips.
And it's funny in it because it's like a quote someone told me. You know, the biggest, baddest men are like lions, yeah. They ain't got a roar to command a room. They walk in and the energy commands a room.
Yeah.
And I remember a good friend of mine, his dad came from zero to about 300 million liquid, yeah.
Wow.
And he's 60 now, but he's in the maddest physique. Guy still wakes up 5 o'clock. I remember he was sitting in his jacuzzi. I'd come around to see my mate Aaron, and he was like, son, I really like you. Let me tell you something. Took his cigar out of his mouth. He was like, son, in your 20s, enjoy life. In your 30s, figure out how you're going to make money. In your 40s, go make money. And in your 50s, make too much money that you don't know what the fuck to do with it.
Yeah.
And kind of hitting it. And also, he came from like basically nothing. I had to build
Yeah.
from scratch. And guy basically built Southeast London. Like, he's a beast. He's a different level beast. But
Yeah.
that's where I want to get to in it. Like, I see myself as fucking around with like the Alex Hormozis. I know I can get to those heights. And so, yeah, I feel like this program has taught me that not even the sky's the limit. The fucking infinite universe is the limit. And
Yeah.
you just got to really believe it and want it. And I feel like in order to achieve success, this is just my view. I feel like you've got to hit your rock bottom to really fucking want it. And then you just go all out and you don't give a shit and you fucking just chase it and fuck what anyone thinks. You
Yeah.
just run and you don't look back and you keep going and going and going. And before you know it, 5 years later, you're like 10 to 100 million up, hopefully.
No, awesome.
Yeah.
These concepts that you are talking about are amazing. I feel like with this whole journey that you've had, which is like today marks a week, I checked. Today marks exactly a week since you joined. And I wanted
No
to
way.
ask,
Oh
yeah, today
yeah.
marks
Oh yeah, yeah. So basically, I actually got in on the Tuesday, and then work got busy, and I wanted to start this where I had like a weekend to like start going
yeah,
deep. And then I was like, man, I usually blitz through stuff, but the lectures are mad in depth. So like, I remember,
yeah,
I
very
think
in
I was
depth.
telling you, like one lecture is taking me like 4 hours because I'm pausing, I'm starting, I'm doing the
Yeah,
worksheets. But when I feel like a bit tired, I'll take a little break and then I'll come back because I want to do it seriously, you know,
yeah.
like your brain needs shit to learn every day
It
so
needs
that
stimulation. Yeah. You're super active in the community. So we have a
yeah, yeah.
community like school and we have the program, we have all of that in there. And Adit's been really, really active in there. And I also wanted to ask you with that, as far as the community and all that stuff, aside from the Q&As and the program, do you feel like the community has been something that's helpful, supportive for you, just in all honesty?
It's fucking sick. I can't even. I remember talking to one potential customer, and this would be like the total work for them, just them alone, would probably be about across the year about 200 grand, yeah, 200,000 pounds. Doing two things for them. They run a founder community, and I showed them bits of the community. Yeah, I was like, you lot need to build something like this because again, like, it's about because ultimately, I think the things that hold back most tech entrepreneurs is themselves.
Yeah.
They know how to build. They know how to solve problems. They don't know how to sell though, because it always ends up being about me, I.
Yeah.
And sales is about you. And if I just consistently focus on looking at each customer or each person, seeing where their pain points are, and just trying to add as much value without selling, they'll pay me double. I ain't gonna
Yeah.
ask them. So I've got everything to offer and more. And if I keep, and I know like, and this is only week one of this course. Do you know what I mean? Like, if I
Yeah.
keep down on it, man, I can't wait for the future. And I haven't felt
I
like this
know.
long time. So yeah, game
I'm
on.
really I'm so glad to hear that. It's this interview has been like I've gotten goosebumps like 3 times already just listening to you and all that stuff. And I wanted to ask you as well. So what's one takeaway that you would give someone that's just about to join the program, an aspect of the program that you think would help them?
Got a 0 to 100, baby. I think you should. If I was to give advice, it would just be like, get rid of your fucking ego and just take this as an open book and just
Yeah.
apply it, try it, don't judge it. And I think the core thing for me, which is stuck, is the who, the what, and the why leads to how coming in ways that you can never imagine. And
Yeah.
it's brought me back to who I always felt I could be. and now I am, and I just am.
Yeah.
And hopefully people, when they do the course, they'll get that, but I just am.
Yeah.
And if to then become like, you know, getting into, once we get to, well, I mean, we're past that now. So once we get to 500,000, it's like, okay, what would a 500,000 entrepreneur do? And then what would a million entrepreneur do? And then, you know, there's levels to this shit, but you need to
Yeah.
crack level 1 before you crack level 2. If you're at 0 revenue, go figure out how to make one sale, get someone to pay for one thing. Once
Yeah.
that, the first sale is always the hardest.
No, I feel like all these things have been amazing. All these results that you're talking about, all these stories, all the experiences that you went through have got you to where you are today and doing this interview with me. I really, really enjoyed it. But I had one last question for you today. What would you say to someone that is on the brink of wanting to join the program but are hesitant to do it?
If you're hesitant about it, don't do it. You're not going to get great results. So
yeah,
that's what it was. It's funny because it's different from, I think I saw the last interview you did, and she was like, oh, if you're hesitant, you should definitely do it. But no, if you're going to commit to something, really commit to it and give it your best and your all. Otherwise, you're never going to see results. Whereas like, if you're hungry for change and you're like, fuck this world, fuck everyone, I'm going to fucking make something of myself, I'm going to do something. Then this course will change your life in ways you could never imagine.
I love your openness. I love your vulnerability in this call, and I love all the stuff that you shared. And I think a lot of people are going to find this inspiring when they see the video that's up later on. They're going to see how this transformation has been quick, how it's been very from the beginning. It started way before you even got into the program, but it all kind of aligned at the perfect moment. So I just wanted to say thank you so much for taking the time out for this interview. It was amazing, and I really enjoyed it.
Thank you. I think the next step for me is just keep going, then get a man like Quasi to invite me to his place in Fort Lauderdale, whatever it's fucking called.
Fort Lauderdale.
I want to get more into like, because everyone always tells me like, you're so inspiring, you're so motivating. Some guy in the gym even asked me like, are you a life coach? And I was like, nah, but part of me is like, because of the journey I've been on. But ultimately my focus still is on this business. But bro, if I wanted to build a multi-million-pound life coach business, I will go and build a multi-million-pound life coach business. I want to run a course business, I'll fucking build a ginormous course business, because now I feel like I've got good foundations in place now. Anything I want to fucking crush it. I just got to go and learn the skills and learn the person I need to become to like do well at that thing, and then just become that person. And then just
exactly.
It's
you
like
have the tools in front of you. You just have to use them. That's what's there. Yeah. Awesome. Thank you so much for this interview today. And I really loved interviewing you.